Welcome back to SwitchOff South Africa. I'm Nicky, as always, in proud collaboration to change cars and all things motoring. Today, I have the new updated Toyota Fortuner GRS, and I'm gonna tell you. Obviously, you know when we're reviewing a GRS, I'm gonna tell you how many GR badges this Toyota Fortuner has, because it is a GRS. I'm gonna tell you the differences from this Fortuner and the Fortuner that you guys know on the streets, and if there is a difference. But as you guys are looking right now, and as I'm looking here. Toyota, stop playing with us, eh? There's no difference, but I will tell you and show you the differences that it does have, because honestly, it does have a bit of differences. And then I'll tell you, is it worth the money that it costs? And I'll tell you the pricing of this vehicle. And we're also going to speak about the Ford Everest. As much as Ford says they don't compete with the Toyota, but Toyota says, hey, Baba, we compete with you. So I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you about the new Isuzu MUX, not the one that you guys currently see on the road. There's the new MUX. I'm going to the launch of that vehicle tomorrow, so I don't know when you're gonna see this. If I get home and I edit this and you see it today as I'm shooting, or you see it after the launch. So yeah, we will see. So I'm gonna tell you guys about that. And speaking of pricing of this vehicle, I'm gonna tell you which out of the three is the best pick. And if you want insurance, you can get insurance code in under 90 seconds. Click the link in the description box below to get your next insurance code through Naked. But yeah, let's start with the front and I'll tell you the differences. So up front, so I've reviewed a Toyota Fortuner before in the year 2023. I'll put the link in the description box below, or just search on the channel. You'll see there's a Toyota Fortuner review. So I had the VX model. The VX model is still out there. This is above the VX model. So up front, the differences between this and the VX model is that here you can get it in black, and all the chrome parts on the VX model is blacked out. So like this part over here, and going to the grill, to the lower end, this part as well. These parts are normally a different color, but here it's blacked out because the GRS, and obviously GRS badging up front that side. So we're also gonna count how many GRS badges this car has, but I think it has. I'm going to play it safe and say 8. I know on the bucket there's a whole lot more because of the sports bar and stuff, but this time around I'm gonna say it has 8, and then as we do the review, we'll see how many GR badging it has. And then when you move on side profile of the vehicle, the wheels are also different. They're also blacked out. That's the difference in terms of this and the normal VX GR badging there. So that's 2. There's another one on that side, so that's 3. And then you get your step blacked out, and then the chrome finishes. So those part over here normally will be chrome, but here it's blacked out. But they did keep some chrome, which I actually do like. Is the chrome that moves from your door all the way across to the back, and it wraps around the vehicle. So I like that they've kept that bit of chrome. And then you also get your roof rails over here. They are not black and they're also not chrome. They're a bit of like a silver finishing up there up top. But honestly, side profile, front profile, it looks like a normal Fortuner. And when you move on to the back, then because of the GRS, GR badging there, so that's 4. We currently at 4. So exterior, there's 4 GR badges, right? But then you get your Fortuner lettering over here. In a normal Fortuner, this is chrome. Because this is a GR, it's blacked out. Toyota badging over there. And then you get, yeah, over here it writes 4x4, it's blacked out. On the VX model, it writes 2.8 GD6 VX in chrome, and then on this side it will write VX to show you the model. So this one, I'm actually not mad at it that it doesn't write 2.8, because you guys know how much I hate. Okay, hate is a strong word. How much I dislike too much lettering on the rear end of the vehicle. So I like that about the car. But at the back, the differences between this and the VX is that this, being the GRS, gets a different roof spoiler, and then to the lower end of as well over here by the diffuser, it gets a diffuser, a plastic diffuser, redesigned bumper. That's the main differences between this vehicle and the VX that's on the channel, and the VX that you can still buy. And we'll speak about pricing of the VX and pricing of this, and whether this is worth the extra money. And then let's hop into the interior, because in terms of the interior, there's GR badging and maybe like 2 or 3 differences, and then that's about it. So when you get into the interior, first thing you're gonna see is the GR badge over here. So that's 5 GR badge. I think I would have played it safe by saying 8, because I can already see there's a lot more than 8. So that's a GR badge, that's 5. There's a GR badge on the start button, that's 6. There's a GR badge over here, that's 7. There's 2 GR badges on the seat, so that's 8 and 9. And when you start the vehicle, there's that GR badge that pops up over there. You guys know it if you watch the Toyota Hilux GRS3 video. So that's 10 GR badges. Okay, wait. You never know Toyota. You might just find GR badges all over. Okay, so we're keeping it at 10 for now. But the difference between this and the VX is that you get a different type of steering wheel. So it gets those perforated finishes over here and leather wrap steering wheel over there. And then you also get your racing line center mark, 12 o'clock mark. So I like that. The difference between this and the VX is normal leather around, and then this part of the steering wheel is that wood finish. If you go back to my review and watch that, you will see that I do show that. And then yeah, that's the difference in terms of the steering wheel. And then this car gets a JBL sound system. The VX also gets a JBL sound system. It's a 6-speed automatic gearbox. The VX is the same thing. In terms of interior, over here, exact same thing, no difference. The other difference is that, so if you look over here, the stitching isn't red. This shows you that this is a GR. I'm showing you that it's sporty. That's the difference. Then you move on to another difference is the seats. On the VX, if I remember correctly, the seats are full leather, whereas over here, it's part leather and part suede Alcantara, if I should say. So the middle part of the seat is Alcantara, suede, and then you get your GR badging over there, whereas on the VX, there's no badging, but the seat design is like this. And then one thing that you get up here, you get a normal USB port. And I was actually mad at it until I looked over here at the back. Then I realized that here at the back there's two Type-C ports. As you can see, there's two cables that are currently connected over there. So you get two Type-C ports. My main disadvantage is the fact that if you don't have the old design cable, you can't initiate Apple CarPlay, because Apple CarPlay or Android Auto is not wireless in this vehicle. But I do understand why that's still there. So for the old school type of people that still want to use USBs in the vehicles, that's why it has it. And I say old school type of people because I know my dad and keeping music on the phone is not his thing. He prefers, maybe he does, but like few songs, but he prefers having a USB stick. So that caters for people like my dad and all of that. But I myself, I can't remember when last I had a USB stick, unless if I needed to move something from one laptop to another. But to put music and play, that's a bit of old school. So timer, we're a bit of old school. Then that's with regards to the vehicle here. That's the difference. Moving on to the back seats, same thing. Part leather, part suede. That's the difference between this and the VX. There is no difference in the back seat. So if you want to see me sitting in the back seat, guys, watch my VX video, because it actually did some good numbers. I want you to watch that VX video. There's also the two seats at the back. I'm actually going to show you those seats in case you don't know how the Toyota seats are. Let's go to the back so I can show you how those seats are. So then when you come to the back, this is actually what I want to show you. In case if you don't know, because there's something I don't like. And it's slow as well. So it's like a truck backing up, like time, man. Toyota, come on now. So these are the seats. So even a Ford Everest and the Isuzu MUX. Also, guys, I keep saying Isuzu or Isuzu. Guys, I don't know. Isuzu. I grew up saying Isuzu. I heard my fellow motoring colleagues saying Isuzu, so I don't know. Isuzu. The MUX, the seats lie flat. And then by click of a button, same thing on the Everest, click of a button, the seats come up. But that depends which one you're speccing. Top spec, right? Entry level, you still pull with the lever. Toyota's like, nah, we're not doing that stuff. We're not gonna put no technology in our vehicle because technology breaks and Toyota doesn't break, essentially. So I'm sure that's what they thought when they were making this vehicle. So you get this hook, right? Let me show you. So you get this hook which puts the seats that way. Press there, unclip, seat lays down flat. Oh, then before you clip it, you need to open this part, right? So that it can clip over there. Like that, and then you raise that, and then that's your seats. We'll do it on this side as well. Oh wait, so it's actually not a fuss per se, but it is a fuss because I'm almost wrong, but it's not really a fuss. Then you have your seats, and then you have a bit of boot capacity. You can put what you want to put, and then to bring them back up is the same thing. Wait, I need to press something first. Oh, that. See how simple it is. And then all I do is clip over there, close that. I just like how I can just, so it's not heavy actually. So yeah, it's sharp, but I prefer the seats that come from the ground like that. Then you get your spare wheel there. I don't like how the spare wheel is exposed, like you can see it driving from behind, so no. But as regards to the vehicle over here, no difference from the Fortuners that you guys know. Let's go to, I think, where there is a difference, and that's with regards to the drive. Listen. Toyota, take us serious, man. So when you move on to the drive of the vehicle, I actually just want to show you another thing that I don't like about Toyota is the luxuriousness. Things you want of luxury, Toyota is not giving you that. And I'm paying close to R1 million. Watch, let me show you. This thing is already heavy, but there's no shocks. I must pull it up, get this, and put it, where do you put it, Toyota? Not there, there. This thing is heavy. This car is close to R1 million. And I'm gonna speak about it when I say close to R1 million because it's actually really close to R1 million, right? I just don't want to tell you just yet. But the difference between this vehicle in terms of the drive compared to the VX or any other 2.8 Toyota, which is the VX, and yeah, essentially is the VX, is this one gets an up in power. The VX is pushing 150 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of torque. This gets an up in power, pushing 165 kilowatts and 550 newton meters of torque. For the overall drive, you do understand and you do actually see the difference in terms of the power delivery and how smooth it is to drive. It actually makes it much more enjoyable because being a GR, it also has that kick when you're going to the next gear. There's that kick that you feel. So I like that about the vehicle. But is it worth the extra money? And I think that's a question that I need to answer at the end of the review. But as regards to the drive of the vehicle, every other part of the drive of the vehicle is the same thing as the VX. Still uses the same gearbox, which is the GD6 gearbox, 6-speed automatic. There's no difference between that and the VX model, between this and the one that's found in the VX. But overall, drive the vehicle, which one is more enjoyable? Definitely this one, but you'll only understand that if you've driven the VX and you drive this one. But if you haven't driven this one, then the VX gets the job done. Yeah, Toyota. Let's stop being stingy. See now. Toyota, let's stop. Listen. Let's stop being stingy. I must just. Yo, now time to speak about, is it worth the asking price and the competition? So we've come to that important part of the video where I tell you about the pricing of the vehicle and its competition. So Toyota, Isuzu, Ford, and you guys are gonna put in the Ford Everest. As much as Ford says they don't compete with this. If you guys are wondering what Ford says they compete with the bigger brother of this vehicle, which is the Prado, essentially. But for the sake of this review and for the sake of what I'm going to say to you guys, I'm putting in the Ford Everest there out of the three. In terms of pricing, I am not going to speak about the Isuzu MUX because there's a new one that's being launched tomorrow, and I don't know the pricing yet. So I don't want to speak about the old one when there's a new one coming. So I'll speak about pricing of the new one at the launch tomorrow, and I'll speak about the Toyota Fortuner. When I speak about the two, Ford Everest and Fortuner, this specific Fortuner is priced at 999,000 rand. So you add 1,000, it's 1 million. For top specification, which is this 4x4 2.8, that's perfect. The next best thing from Ford, like par for par, if I had to put it, you need to look at a Ford Everest XLT 4x4. So Ford Everest 4x2 XLT, right, the bi-turbo. When you look at the pricing of that, that's priced at, correct pricing on the screen, I think it's 942,000 rand. And then for the 4x2, if you want 4x4, it pushes up the price to 1,017,000. So it's more than this. And personally, when we're looking at it like that, right, bar for bar, whatever, personally, I wouldn't take the Ford Everest XLT over a Toyota Fortuner GRS because this is at its top. It has all the luxurious features that I would want, essentially. Like as much as I'm saying, I'm saying luxury and Toyota doesn't make sense, but it has all the nice feelings that I would like here. Whereas on the Ford Everest, even from the basic of a steering wheel, the leather that's found in the Ford Everest XLT is not the same one found in the Wildtrak Everest or the Platinum Everest. So just the quality, I would go for this. And if you want to go up in terms of quality at Ford, you're touching 1.2, 1.3 million rand, 1.2 being the Wildtrak, 1.3 being the Platinum. And then that's where you understand in terms of Ford's pricing, saying they don't compete with us, they compete with the Prado, because that pricing is in and around Prado pricing, but not Fortuner pricing. So in that regard, when I put Ford Everest and Fortuner on paper, 1 million rand on the table, Toyota makes more sense. The engine, reliability of this vehicle, more power, better to drive. And I think the only thing that you'd be a bit scared of is in terms of theft risk of this vehicle. They've included a gear lock as well on a standard manufacturer. So that's a good step from Toyota, showing you that we do hear your concerns that the car does get stolen. We're putting in a gear lock. You should be seeing it on the replay videos. Is the gear lock and handbrake lock, so it's underneath the handbrake. So I like that. So they're showing you we are taking initiative. So we're trying our best to make sure that these cars aren't a target, but they'll always be a target because of the type of car it is. And another reason I'll always lean more to the Toyota is this Fortuner. Is because of the pricing. Like, it priced so well. Maybe not this one because this is close to $1 million, but you can literally get into a Toyota Fortuner for just under 700,000 rand. Correct pricing on the screen, and that's where my love in terms of this segment leans more to Toyota. The important question: would I recommend this over the VX? And before I speak about that, if you're looking for insurance code, you can get insurance code in under 90 seconds through the Naked app. Click the link in the description box below. And if you take the pricing of this one and take it to the Change Cars Vehicle Finance Calculator, you're looking at paying the pricing that's on the screen. Important question: VX or GRS? I think honestly it's up to you as a person, what you like. The price difference between the two, you're looking at around 50,000 rand essentially. Is it worth the jump? Personally, yes. It is worth the jump when you look at the drive of the vehicle, the leather that you're getting. It is kind of justified. It kind of makes sense because Toyota still needs to eat. But if you haven't been in a GRS and you have a Toyota VX, it's fine. Get the VX. If you drive a VX and you see the new GRS, that's when I say there's no need for you to upgrade to the GRS. But if you have GRS money, just go all the way. Is this car different from any other Toyota that you guys see on the road? No, it's just the badges that are different. But other than that, it's the same old Toyota. There's no difference. Hopefully we get to see a new Toyota Fortuner because we're starving for a new Toyota Fortuner and a new Toyota Hilux. And Toyota, please give us something new. This car has been around for close to 9 years now. This shape essentially. So yeah, that's my review of the Toyota Hilux GRS, and I hope you guys did like the content. I'll see you guys when I get to the MUX launch, and we'll speak more about the MUX at the launch because unfortunately I can't speak about a new car that I haven't been in. But overall, this has been the Toyota Fortuner review. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, click the link in the description box below. Please remember to follow me on my socials. I'm gonna put all the details in the description box below. I'll see you guys in the next one in Park Caribbean, Change Cars and all things motoring. If you're looking for insurance, Naked will sort you out. Otherwise, I'm signing out. I'll see you at the season.